The million-dollar question. Which debt repayment strategy is going to help you get out of debt the fastest? The debt avalanche or the debt snowball? Well, the answer isn't as straightforward as you might think it is. But the good news is whichever method you choose, both strategies are going to help you get out of debt way faster than if you just made the minimum payments. So you might be wondering, Jamie, how much faster is using the debt snowball or debt avalanche compared to just using the minimum payments? Let's take a look at this family right here. This is a real family, and if they'd have just used the minimum payment, it would have taken them 17 years to get out of debt. That's a long time to be paying off debt. But using the debt snowball method, which for them was the fastest method for them to get out of debt, they cut that down to just 9 years of paying off their debt. And you might be watching this video thinking, Jamie, I've got debt. Which strategy is going to help me get out of debt faster, the debt snowball or the debt avalanche? I'm going to compare one family's debt head-to-head with a debt snowball and a debt avalanche to see which one gets them out of debt faster. And you can do the same thing for your debt. First up in this head-to-head heavyweight bout is going to be the debt avalanche. And what I'm going to show you how to do with this is actually how to take it from the initial setup all the way through finding a debt-free date using the debt avalanche method. And if you want a spreadsheet just like this one so you can do your own testing of debt snowball versus debt avalanche, check the link down in the description to get your own free download of this spreadsheet. So this family has $87,500 in debt. We're going to see how fast we can get this debt paid off. As we're setting up the debt avalanche spreadsheet, one really important thing that we're going to get an insight on is how long is it going to take this family to pay off all of this debt, all $87,000, with just the minimum payments. That is the starting point. So once I have the spreadsheet set up with just the minimum payments on it, we're going to start applying the avalanche method where we're going to roll one minimum payment into the next once it gets paid off. And we're going to see how much time we can take off from the minimum payments to the debt avalanche method. And the way this spreadsheet works is all I have to do now that I've got things input is I just have to highlight the columns and drag it down until the balance becomes negative. And I've got it formatted so that when it turns negative, it actually pops green so I can see a nice easy visual. Just like that. Now I'm going to repeat that same process for the remaining 5 debts here, and I might speed it up a little bit just so you can get the gist of what I'm doing. All right, everything's formatted exactly the way I want it to be, and now we're going to look at when is their debt-free date with the minimum payments. So we just got to scroll down to the bottom here, and we can see that in May 2034, this family will make their absolute last payment on all of their debt and be debt-free, hopefully forever. At least debt-free from this debt. So I'm just going to highlight that so we have a nice visual on when their debt-free date is so we can compare it once we apply the debt avalanche principles. And once we pay off one debt, the one with the highest interest, we're going to take the minimum payment from that and roll it over into the next one, or avalanche it over. I don't know how you want to say that. So that's going to be this 234. There's actually, in scrolling down, I noticed that this sneaky little debt 4 over here gets paid off faster because it has 0 interest and it's a smaller debt. So I'm going to take this $75 and I'm going to apply it over on this first debt with the high interest, and that is going to be for December of 2025. And the beautiful thing about this style of debt avalanche spreadsheet is all I have to do is change that one number and then drag it down again, and it's automatically going to apply the new minimum payment to my debt avalanche. All right, now we're looking at paying that one off in July of 2027 versus April of 2028, so saving about a year of debt repayment there. And now following the same principle of taking that 309, rolling it over into the next debt, which is this 147, we now have a total of 456, and we're going to follow the same process of just dragging this cell down until that is paid off. And I am noticing something here. Debt 3 and debt 5 essentially get paid off at the same time. I mean, there's $1.38 left here in November 2027, and so I'm actually going to apply both of those, the 265 and the 456, to this 314. Now I'm attacking this debt 2 at $1,000 a month clip. This is going to get paid off real fast. We got about $10,000 left. And boom, that is gone. Or 1,035 to 465. All right, it's time to see how fast this family is going to get debt free compared to the minimum payments. Once I drag this down and we hit that green when it goes into negative, we'll have our debt free date. We went from May of 2034 for this family to July of 2030. So that is 4 years of debt repayment that this family doesn't have to make because they strategically use the debt avalanche method to pay off their debt. And if you want a debt snowball or debt avalanche method spreadsheet, just like the one I've got here, I've got a link down in the description of a free download of a debt snowball spreadsheet, but you can set it up as a debt avalanche or debt snowball. And if you don't want to go through all the hassle of setting up a spreadsheet, I've got a product where I'll just make it for you. You fill out a Google form, send me your debt information. I'll make a spreadsheet just like this one and send it back your way, highlighting the fastest way for you to get out of debt based off of your current debt situation. Okay, now we're going to switch gears. Let's see if we can beat July of 2034 using the debt snowball spreadsheet. This is set up exactly the same way. I've got all the same debts, just in a different order. And I'm just going to kind of speed through the setup of this one so that we get to the actual results a little bit faster, because really I think that's what you came for. You came for the results, maybe to see how I set this up, but really you wanted the results. We still have May of 2034 as our debt-free date using just our minimum payments. Starting at the top, $87,500-ish in debt. Let's see how fast we can get it gone. Once again, our first debt being paid off is this no interest debt. $75 is going to go over to this $147 now. So that now is $222, and we are going to drag it down as we did in the previous spreadsheet. All right, June of 2027, that one is gone, so we're going to roll into the next debt 3. All right, we come across actually the exact same situation as the debt avalanche, where these two debts are basically being paid off the same month, which leads me to think we're going to have a very close result here between the debt avalanche and debt snowball. We're back up over $1,000 for this minimum payment. Moment of truth. We're going to see which method of debt repayment is faster, the debt snowball or the debt avalanche, right now. And holy cow, it's a tie. July 2030, July 2030, it's a tie. But the good news is, no matter which debt repayment strategy you use, the debt snowball or debt avalanche, it is going to be way faster than using just the minimum payments. This family cut off over 4 years just by making the change of using the debt avalanche or the debt snowball instead of the minimum payments. This goes to show it doesn't really matter which one you choose as long as you choose one of them and get started. And the best way to get started is to grab that free download of the debt snowball spreadsheet, or to sign up for that debt repayment consult where I'll just make this whole beautiful spreadsheet for you and send it to you, and you just need to follow it and put that into place. And if this was a little bit of a letdown that this was a tie, I've got another video where I pit the debt snowball and debt avalanche head to head for a different family, and there's a clear winner in that one, so you're going to want to check this video out next.